Saudara, kita terus saja berlangsung ke sidang media Perdana Menteri. Saksikan.
We cannot afford to quarrel with people because of their ideologies. We want to have access to all the markets of the world, whether east or west, whether they are communist or non-communist, whatever, is of no concern to us. Our business is to establish relation. There will probably be big powers who may want to impose sanctions. To the extent that we can, sanctions by big powers are not international. Big powers deciding on their own will not influence our policies. But of course, we are very well aware of the powers of these big powers who may want to impose sanctions on countries which do not respect or do not agree with them on applying sanctions to countries. But as far as possible, we are going to be neutral and we are going to be friendly with all countries. So this morning we didn't discuss many subjects, but tomorrow we hope to be able to name the members of the different ministries and also which ministry will go to whichever. It's not so much whichever party, but I think it is important that the role of the four members of the coalition be equally the same without any discrimination. Thank you. Pardon? That will be determined tomorrow.
Will that period of time when you and Anwar will serve side by side in the same cabinet or take over for?
No. Before he can join the cabinet, he will have to be a member of parliament first. So this process may take a long time. Whether he will immediately join the cabinet or not will be decided when the time comes. Okay?
What you will do in the new government to control the corruption in the future?
As I said, that we want to control or reduce corruption to the minimum level. We are aware that it's not possible to completely erase corruption, but we now find that political corruption has badly affected the democratic process. For example, the election should be free, should be clean, but we find that this election was not clean at all. People were being bought. Countries, the constituencies, boundaries were being changed. All these things are worse than gerrymandering. It is really to favor the government. All those things will be studied, and where possible, we will change back to the original boundaries. And if we have a two-thirds majority, we will take into consideration the different distribution of people, the numbers of people in each constituency.
So will you be reopening the 1MDB investigations? You've been talking about the elections, but will you be asking the Attorney General or a new Attorney General to reopen that or pursue that issue?
We have to look into who the Attorney General is. At the moment, the Attorney General has undermined his own credibility, limited by the laws of this country. So for that, we will have to consult the administrators and the lawyers to find out whether what we do is in keeping with the provisions of the laws of this country. But our intention is to go for people who had shown a tendency to be corrupt or who had committed known corrupt crimes.
You said that you found that the MACC had actually not certain blatant incidences of corruption. So are we going to expect a change in this within the MACC and some institutions?
We will study whether the MACC is fair or not. If we find that they are biased in favor of any group, including ourselves, we will have to change them. And as we promised, the new heads of major heads of government would be vetted by Parliament.
So would this also apply to the Election Commission Chairman, Menteri?
If we find out that he is involved in some corrupt practices, being biased and all that, we will have to take action against him.
Will party-wise consist of your cabinet, and how about your own colleagues like Rafida and Langsung? Will they have a seat in cabinet?
We are interested in this election. If you want to go back to the time of Tunku Abdul Rahman, we will be bogged down with investigating corruption for the whole life of this cabinet.
Semalam waktu bicara kat Sumpah semalam, di dalam media sosial beberapa orang dia mengecap aku kononnya dia tak suka tu dia Sulawesi. Itu adakah tindakan akan diambil?
Ada. Nothing happened.
Last question, please.
Yesterday the ringgit strengthened 1.7%.
Well, the ringgit at the moment things are still uncertain. We still have not formed a full government. We only have elected or chosen appointed the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister will have to form a cabinet, and then we will have to talk to all the departments to find out what has been done. And if we find a particular case which needs special attention, we will investigate them, including getting the police and the MACC and maybe also the previous heads of MACC to give us data which they have before we can decide on whatever action is to be taken to take place.
Okay. One MPP investigation was undertaken during the time of IGP Khas, and he never gave an actual answer as to what was the actual updates on the one MPP investigation. Would he also be called by probably a party?
If there is evidence, we will call.
Okay, thank you.
Monday, will be closing in at KMO.
Huh?
Monday, will be closing in at KMO.
Okay, going to the cabinet office on Monday.
Monday.
Going to BNO office.
That is a minor thing. I function just as well here. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right.
Baik, itu dia tadi sidang media khas Perdana Menteri. Sekarang kita beralih